Hello. Quite funny, really. I'm posting this largely in reply to VK, Von Ketteringham's new vid about his buying some Ziston, Alexandrian or anyway Macedonian figures. I presume. Greek as well he was looking at, but it's funny because I've just been going through exactly the same process myself, and part of it is a sort of a renaissance of interest, really, because in my youth I had a great deal of interest in Alexander, and he was a hero of mine. And this box, which contains the Huns which I looked at, Hinchcliffe Huns, in a previous video, as well as some Assyrians there, funnily enough, at the bottom. But at the back you can see an Alexandrian army in 25mm Hinchcliffe. Here is Alexander himself, alas, broken, because his horse was rearing, which needs repairing. It's going to be a fiddly business doing that, but there he is. I won't linger on these guys, but just to show that this is a long-standing thing and goes back a long way. Let's just straighten this up. Sorry to jiggle the camera around like this. But this is a great book. I love this book. I've had this a long time. The Greek Armies by Peter CONNOLLY, with his wonderful illustrations, and I really recommend this to anyone. There's a Roman one as well, which I've got. But it actually gives you not only details of the whole of Greek military history from a timeline playthrough, as it were, from Homeric period right through to Alexander's successors. And here's the Alexandrian page, and it will do things like this: a breakdown of actual command organization and his siege engines. Everything is covered in exhaustive detail, really, I think, as far as is known. Elephants later in India, blah-de-blah, and these wonderful, great big pictures in colour by Peter Dennis of conflicts and so forth. Anyway, great book. I've been gradually buying Alexandrian Macedonian books to back this enthusiasm up and keep it going. Unfortunately, Goths have got in the way in a big way at the moment, despite the fact that a few weeks ago the Ziston Macedonians arrived, and I've kept them in their bags and kept them labelled, so I know what I'm coming to. It's just for a DBA army, or slightly over a DBA army, to give you choice, and maybe use for basic impetus as well. And I got the LBH shield transfers as well for these, because there's just all that repetition of stars would be enough to drive you mad, I think. I was really looking forward to painting these, and part of it was on the basis of seeing other people's beautiful Ziston figures, really. And then two things happened. One was that I got enamoured of Goths, and the other thing was that I realised that these need quite a bit of cleaning up, which I was surprised at. I thought that they would be very, very clean figures. I don't know why I thought that. Some of them are, but some of them are most definitely going to require a lot of attention. I started actually, and then somehow the Goths took over. But this is just to quickly look at the books that I've been purchasing. Alexander the Great, The Hunt for a New Past, by Paul Cartledge, who is a major classicist. It's got a good write-up by Tom Holland on the back, the author of Rubicon, a good blurb, I should say. So that is very encouraging. I've looked at it briefly. It is sort of a balance of scholarship and a good read. The really good read, I haven't got it here at the moment, but it's on my shelf somewhere, is the Robin Lane Fox book on Alexander the Great, actually. This is the Peter Green one. Paul Cartledge thinks that the Robin Lane Fox is a bit like a novel. It's too, it's a little bit too, but I love it, actually. I think it's great. I haven't read this one, the Peter Green. The one that I have read over, or the two that I have read over many times, is this fictionalised account, which Paul Cartledge again actually rates very highly, of the early years of Alexander up to the point of his succession to the throne of Macedonia. It's marvellous. Actually, I would put this forward, with the possible exception of The Wake, the novel about the Norman invasion from the point of view of a soakman. Apart from that, I would put this as my all-time favourite historical novel, actually, Fire from Heaven by Mary Renault. Marvellous. It's got a sort of a, I don't know, a sort of a mosaic-like lustre to it. It's been so polished in the writing. She obviously loved and loved and loved the subject. And I've had this a long time, ex libris Nigel Ellis, an adolescent purchase here. And there's The Nature of Alexander as well, which is her looking at the historical Alexander, but it shows her view of him to be very slanted, I must say. She's very, very pro, and sees him almost as being like a sort of as if he is really divinely delivered to do something to the world, which obviously he believed. But it is a great read. She's a marvellous writer. She was a marvellous writer. The last one is this one, Alexander the Great at War, which is an ex-library book. It's got quite a lot of bits of art that are from Osprey in it, but it collects together a lot of stuff around the army and around the events, really, from the time of Philip II putting the army together, the reforms, through to Alexander's travels in Asia and the Battle of Hydaspes in India and the return to Babylon and the end. Very useful. Anyway, I thought I would just quickly review this kind of thing. I'd meant to do it before. I had thought I would be painting these lovely Ziston troops, but and hopefully reviewing them. And I hope I will yet do that. But that was a spur. Thank you, VK, for making me get this one done and out the way. And I'm going to go back to the Goths now, though. Such is life. Thanks for watching.